is loud.
You got it.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, here we are, episode 8 of the Tuesday Morning Hero podcast. Friend of the pod, Muhs, is joining us this week to share all of his insights on how not to win at fantasy football. We'll be looking at week 6 recap. Some matches still up in the air. Surprisingly, I'm still up in the air every week. It seems to be that way. We're going to be looking at power rankings. We're switching something up as well this week. We're actually going to just be highlighting briefly the week 7 matchups. And we're going to be coming back at you on Thursday with our more in-depth breakdown from Kerschel and myself. But Muhs will be giving out his sure to be wrong picks of week 7 matchups in TMH. We'll still finish it up here with some waivers to be looking at here on Tuesday for the upcoming week. Are we ready? Let's go! Muhs, welcome to the pod, dude.
Thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. It's about time.
That's great. Aaron Rodgers is also joining us, if you didn't notice.
Yes, he's for now still hanging up on the wall, but give it a few more games, I may replace him.
Who's on the other side of him?
It's Brett, Aaron, and Aaron.
Nice.
Oh, no Matt Flynn.
No, Matt Flynn. No. Still holds a record for most passing yards, but
Oh my God.
didn't make the wall.
Yeah, that was good. No, but yeah, appreciate you joining in. Interested to hear your thoughts on all the teams, specifically yours. We got some questions we'll throw at you too. So let's kick it off, as we always do, looking at week 6 recap, or the weekly recap. Just because Sleeper always puts me first because it's my team. We're going to start with my matchup with Daryl. Going up against Daryl, still up in the air. I don't have the game on, but it looks like we're into the third. Melvin Gordon not doing anything, which let's keep that up. So I do have Daryl by 5-ish right now. We'll see if that holds. I don't know. I didn't think I had a chance, but we're halfway through that game, so we'll see. Russell Wilson's
really
playing
good. Yeah, yep. He's thrown a bunch of times. I mean, Judy's fallen down twice on passes he could have caught. I mean, Wilson looks good. Judy.
Yeah. So here's my question to you guys on this game: is I don't know how to land. Right. I think both are having subpar weeks and generally in points. So we'll see what happens. But I will give a shout out to Daryl on the Juju pickup. He outperforms the whole freaking year, of course, because, why not?
He's not on my team.
We'll see what he's down the stretch there beyond this week. But my question to you is that this brings me so much anger when I watch the freaking game. Like, I'm watching Maher kick this 59-yard field goal, and I'm like, make the damn field goal. And he fucking shanks it to the right. And, like, that's 5.9 points for my fantasy team. And I'm like, I shouldn't even watch. I should just like refresh Sleeper at like in the morning and be like, oh, I guess I'm up 5. Like, and not looking at every play and being like, son of a bitch.
You always
do that?
Oh yes, 100%.
Now, you know what the secret is, and it's kind of anti-TMH, but the secret is to be in enough leagues where every play is a plus somewhere and a minus somewhere else.
Yeah, that's valid.
No. Even better. Okay, all right. If you don't like multiple leagues, that's fine. Then bet on every game you watch. Every game, $5. That's what Shane and I do. That kick that Maurer missed, that I won $5 on that because they would have backdoor covered on that 3 points.
Nice. Well, yeah, that's your degenerate.
I'm on a heater. Yeah.
Yeah. My final thought here on the game, just to point out, because I'm playing my violin, I do have the most points against in TMH, and that's bullshit. And Daryl has the second least, and Odie has the fewest. I mean, look at their records. Like, this is bullshit.
There's going to be a rule change next year, isn't there?
There's going to be some bigger rule changes coming down the pipe, so strap in. But any other thoughts on that game? Anybody got any thoughts, Muhs or Herschel?
I'm doing the same as you. Honestly, I watched the Chiefs-Bills game pretty closely, and the Juju touchdowns were fluky, right? Both of them were missed tackles. I guess he had a big play and then a touchdown. One was a slant. No one guarded him. Someone blew a tackle, barely even touched him, and he took it for 40. Yep. And then the other one, the two defenders just kind of smashed. He kept his balance, and he ran off, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to do this again.
Yeah. No, I think, like I said, I don't know if Daryl's thinking he will either. I think it was a solid pickup. I mean, he justified it in a good way, so good on you.
Daryl needs this win, by the way, and he better squeak it out because, hey, I'm looking through his team, and he's got some obviously very good players. Lamar Jackson has not been playing well lately, and he hasn't
Tough
been giving him
matchups.
40 points a game.
Yep.
Sure. But regardless, his running backs are questionable. He's got Drake London as one of his running backs who rookie. Sometimes Atlanta, you don't ever really know what you're going to get. We got a Kyle Pitts sighting. He scored a touchdown on
3 targets.
right.
Garbage baby.
But and I don't know if anybody's mentioned it, but that trade that Daryl had a few weeks back is anybody
No.
trade Tyreek?
Yeah. How's that going?
Yeah, how's that going, Daryl?
I don't think it's going well for him.
But yeah, we look at the trajectory of Daryl's team, and it's really down. Najee Harris is losing carries, right? Melvin Gordon is, he's getting the ball, but not that, nothing's coming of it.
It's 8 yards.
Waller's hurt, right?
No, Henry's looking
Jackson.
better.
Yes. The Titans and Henry are doing well. Waller's hurt, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Picking up, never mind. That's Odie, not Daryl.
To finish this up, Daryl, we need a full thesis on the post of this video breaking down the justifications from this week, win or lose. But yeah, you can tout your juju. You got that one right, buddy. So good on you. All right, move on. Let's look at Odie versus Bones as our matchup here. It was a pretty comfortable win for Odie.
He was quick
My
to text
thoughts
us.
here. Actually, you go first, Kershaw. What do you got on this one? Anything?
The usual suspects for Odie, right? We have Mahomes, Cook, and Barkley. And then the long touchdown for Davis, right? That's how Odie's going to win these games. But Bones is going to have to do something to put up more of a fight.
Yeah, Odie really got some good garbage points here. Cook's got a 50-yard run, garbage time run. He seals it, but that's right there's 11 of his 15 points, right? So
yeah,
nothing before that.
Well, yeah, we're talking about Davis too was a 40-yard bomb or 50 or something.
Yep. So you take those out. You're starting to sniff pretty close. He might still squeak it out. Walker showed up to be good. They gave him a lot of carries. We'll see how that.
Passed the eye test too. He looked really good.
Sure.
So
I didn't watch any of that game.
With Odie picking up Walker, which I think ultimately will be a very good pickup for him. He's especially if they, like you said, give him 20 carries a game. He has zero fob money left. Is that going to come into play for him later during bye season? I don't know. It'll be interesting knowing that he can't literally outbid anybody for anybody.
Yeah, he's got good depth with Pollard and Higgins. So, injury bug comes for anyone, right? Then it's a problem.
Yeah. The thing is his record's good enough, right?
Yeah.
He's going to go to 6-0. Obviously he wants that 1-2, right? That's what he's going to stand for, but he's guaranteed pretty much at this point to make the playoffs. So he says he has a strategy. We'll see if he wants to admit to it. So if you do, send it in for Thursday, Odie. I want to hear the strategy about betting every bit that you had on Walker. But
yeah, and to foreshadow Thursday, right? And really, maybe we should look at it now, right? He has 4 players on bye next week, so we're gonna have something to say about that on Thursday. So he has 4 people he won't want to drop: Cook, Goddard, Davis, and the Buffalo defense. So
he might just eat some money there too. Yeah. We'll see. We will skip. We'll hit Muse's game here last. We got Tony versus Shane. Both had good weeks actually. Tony had the number 1 week. Yeah, highest points. Basically, she'll shake out there. But Shane actually had a nice showing as well for Shane's team, thanks to his trade with Daryl. 29 points from Tyreek Hill. Congratulations there. Tony's receiver showed up in big time, right? And that Stevenson is probably proving to be one of those workhorses that can ride a team into a championship too. He's looking really good, and they're giving him a lot of chances too. So, any other thoughts there?
Props to Tony for benching Jeff Wilson. Wilson was in a smash spot here. To bench him for Eno was a good play. It ultimately didn't matter, but points are points.
So, an interesting thought. So Tony sent me a trade earlier this week. Trade was Kyle Pitts for Jeff Wilson. That was it. I turned it down. Basically because Wilson has a shelf life here at probably week 10. Mitchell comes back. from the Ninerville, and we'll see. So I turned it down, but I mean, they're both garbage babies at this point. But I mean, Wilson isn't so bad. He just had a game plan type game that really just didn't allow him to run. But
Yeah.
anyway, that was just an interesting trade that I've got from Tony. That again, I don't think it was a bad trade. But
Yeah, and I think like in order for Tony to get to this like number one in our power rankings, right? I think he needs to figure out the quarterback spot, right? This is only the second time he's won the quarterback matchup versus the other person, right? So I think, I mean, he needs to figure that out a little bit.
I would agree. I mean, like I said, for us, we're all winning here. This is one more step towards Shane going into the Jackrabbit in Grand Island, Nebraska. So I mean, that's a plus for everybody. We'll win on that level. I did find that hilarious comment that Bones made about life expectancy for Stafford on Shane's roster was a day. So that was pretty funny. And then he goes with Aaron, who, he needs the playbook simplified. That's what he said. Do you see that thing?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
He just wants to throw it deep. Yeah.
Stick the long ball.
Oh God.
The long ball.
In Shane's defense, Stafford sucked too.
Yeah, no, he might have been a wash on that. Honestly, I don't even know. It wasn't a great game from either of those guys, but no. Shane will keep trying. I don't know what comes of that, but
before we move on, any comments on Tony dropping Hawkinson?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting move.
My eyes lit up. Like I instantly put all the waiver I had, and then I went back and took a little bit off.
Yeah, good on that.
The other thing is who else does he drop?
Wilson.
I don't think he should have picked up Benjamin.
Yes, yeah, that's the secret. Yeah.
Right. Or yes, Jeff Wilson, obviously, but he's going to get snatched up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what did he bid on Benjamin to get him?
Here, I will look it up.
Waivers right here. I got it. 26.
He put
26 on Benjamin. I mean, when he had Wilson, I mean, obviously his hindsight is 2020, so he did well, I guess, this week on that. But yeah, you could have saved Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin still only got him 9.5 points. It's not like he lit it up.
Exactly, and he's hurt.
Years.
Yeah.
Just a couple weeks.
Yeah, that could be if we reference back to this week, that could be an interesting decision. And again, we want you guys to share your thoughts. So Tony, let us know. Let us know your thoughts on, dropping Hawkinson and now having to play tight end roulette. I mean, Hawkins has one huge game too. Only let's be honest, like that was his huge game. Other than that, it's been pretty much just basic tight end work. So maybe he was thinking that too.
Yeah,
but he has the high ceiling. I mean, unlike a lot of free agency too.
Yep. Yeah, and his buys. Yeah, I don't know.
He's a lion. Kirchhoff loves lions.
I love the Lions.
God, he loves the Lions, and that's showing to be ridiculous. He also loves DJ Chark.
Hey, they didn't lose this week.
That's right, they didn't lose.
Hey, I got a bone to pick with you real quick, Adam. Remember, like, I think it was 2 weeks in a row, you're like, that Chiefs running back name that I can't say, that is Pacheco or whatever. It's like, yeah, you guys should pick him up. I pick him up, play him. The same night, he's like, what a fucking idiot. Why do you play him? Like,
well, first of all, I hate all things Chiefs, especially their running backs. Like, let's be honest. You know what? That's a good transition. Let's transition to the Sam Cody matchup. Sam's Clyde Edwards-Helaire is garbage, and he should be dropped, and it's showing now. He's a garbage baby.
He didn't even play him. Yeah.
Yeah, did well, and good on Sam for not, because he should be dropped. But if you track back to last episode, I said that I got it wrong. I thought Sam would win, so I will cop to that. But I did say that Cody's running backs would struggle, and they did. So, ring the damn bell. I called that right. They did struggle.
Sam's currently winning by 0.02, by the way.
0.02.
Oh, he may
but Cody's got. Well, I'm assuming Williams is going to get something, but maybe not. I guess
he could lose a fumble.
He could. We shall see. But no other thoughts on that. I mean, they had so weeks. It was good to see Kittle. The Niners actually, for getting just beat up by a shitty team, like a lot of targets to go around there. Ayuk, Samuel, Kittle, they all had like 10 plus targets. So good to see that from a Niner perspective. But
from a fantasy perspective, not a Niner perspective, they're not going to win playing like that.
I do have a question for you guys because I'm curious. I know how I feel. Do you think both Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers end up free agents after this year are both dropped. After this week, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So fantasy. I don't know. Sam hasn't dropped Brady yet. If this game
And he
doesn't
picked
do
him
it,
up from somebody, didn't he?
did he?
Maybe not. I thought somebody else had him.
I don't know.
earlier this season.
Rodgers has another good spot. He has Washington. I wouldn't be surprised if they both let him fly again, right? Both teams. Brady plays against Carolina,
At Carolina.
so I think they both stay.
I think they both stay too. It's an interesting week. This is a heavy bye week. Like I'm going to be looking for one. Josh Allen's on bye. Not going on free agency, but I don't think he. I'm just saying it's gonna be a lot of quarterbacks to go around. We'll see. It's a matchup play, but totally byline. I think Bones might have mentioned this in our Slack channel at one point. But like, I clicked on the picture of Tom Brady. What's going on with Tom Brady in that picture?
Dude
He looks so thin.
Yeah,
he looks
His
sick.
face looks, he does.
Looks like he shaved his eyebrows. I need to bring it up on this stream here.
yeah. Can you just like edit this in, just like Tom Brady, and then like
I will. I have it on in
wonder
case I
Giselle
forget.
left you. You're like coked out.
Maybe that's the result of her leaving.
Oh
Her
god.
beauty was like rubbing off on him.
TB12, get it together. I love Tom Brady.
See, the secret is the TB12 program is just cocaine.
That's a part of it, obviously. It's your protein and cocaine in the morning, and you get on with your day. All right, let's get to the.
Hey, I got one more question.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand Cody's team name, but what the hell is Makar? Who or what is that?
Yeah, he slipped in a hockey reference,
isn't it?
right? I'm assuming.
Well,
I mean,
it's
I'm a new
not-
hockey fan.
Dude, where's
fuck it.
Makar? I get. but
Okay, if that's a hockey reference,
I'm
I'm taking
assuming.
away his win this week. There's no hockey
might not
references
do
in
it.
football.
That's why I did.
Why don't we play fantasy hockey, Cody?
We-
Oh wait, nobody would play.
I can't wait for that season to start.
Who do you got? I can't pronounce their names.
Yeah. I'm Canadian.
All right, let's get to the matchup of the week. Kershaw versus John. Everybody's watching this sucker. Kershaw,
Put up 100 points.
way to do it, buddy.
Yep.
Look at
Way
you.
to put up 102. Well, you got a guy playing. Hopkins is going. So 100 and something. Good work.
102, yeah. Yep. Honestly, the Fields thing could have been even better, right? He had
Oh, yeah. You missed out on some.
4
Yeah, he
drop
was Nick
passes.
doing.
The last
Yep.
one, especially,
Oh yeah. Yep.
was terrible.
I mean,
terrible.
I could have had the quarterback one and the running. I had the running back one, and Pittman's top 4 or 5 this week, I think. So
Yo, Pittman was great. I mean, all of those Colts were good plays. Yeah, no, you look at your team now. I was actually doing this. I studied a little bit. Like, you're getting healthy. We'll see. Hawkinson was a good pick. Allen's gonna be back. Taylor sounds like back this week. Maybe Allen even this next week.
Mm-hmm.
So you start piecing those guys in with Pittman. Yeah, I mean, it's looking okay. I mean, your quarterback, you're gonna have to figure that mess out. And Jacksonville, that was a bad choice. But
I felt better about the Jacksonville pick than the Colts going against them.
You've been
don't bet
better
against
off than
Matty
Cole.
Ice. What are you doing?
Matty Ice has turned it over every game for till this game.
Yeah, well, there
But
you go.
yeah. I just want a couple other. I still can't figure out the defensive spot. And for John, the one bright spot is ETN. Looks like he's the RB1 in Jacksonville. That could pay off. Might give him a little leverage to trade somewhere along the line. But I think it might be nailing the coffin, losing his. I think it's a wide receiver 4 in the league right now.
It was. Yeah, I looked that up. He was.
Brown,
Yeah, he was doing great.
wide
I
receiver
didn't realize he was
5.
doing as good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean, people are going to be just pecking at him to try to trade for Kelsey or ETN, and I mean, that's all he's got for value. That's worth a decent trade. I love John too. Like, I'm looking at his bench. He still has faith that Elijah Moore is going to just do it. Like, I'm looking at this guy's numbers. I'm like,
0 targets last week for Elijah
Yep.
Moore.
what are we doing, John?
Now, I know we don't talk a whole lot of NFL, but what is going on in New York? The Jets are 4-2, and the Giants are 5-1, and the Jets look good.
Look at the stat line for Zach Wilson on that win.
He had the lowest QBR.
He had
while
four
also
four
winning by
points.
2 touchdowns. It was like a 35.5.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I didn't watch the game, but I looked at the score. I'm like, how the hell is this guy? What?
Brees Hall.
Podcast, I could tell you
Yeah,
all
no,
about.
Brees Hall is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yes, we'll see if you can do it, Kershal. We're forecasting a little bit into next week too. You got a good matchup against Cody with some bye week stuff, so you might be able to turn it around.
We'll see.
This league's really becoming top heavy, right? There's these the top 4 teams are really beating us up on the bottom, so like we're all kind of fighting for 2 spots, the way I'm looking at it. So, and we'll get to that a little bit in the power rankings, but there's a chance you don't have a great record to maybe squeak in. You got to get your points 4 up there, obviously, but
Yeah.
that's that. All right, let's end the week recap. We'll look at Muhs versus Travis.
It's a close
I'm
one.
gonna let you, buddy. Go ahead and defend what you got to do.
Well, it's still up in the air. I have twice as many players going right now than Travis does. So I just need Justin Herbert to. I'm going to poke him with a stick, telling him to do something. Maybe throw a touchdown or something. It doesn't. Some would say it doesn't look great. I just have underperformers all season long.
Do something.
Yeah, Eckler has more points than the 2 players you have playing right now.
Yeah, but that's an anomaly.
So
I've had 3 touchdowns scored by my running backs all season long. I've had absolute garbage through running backs.
Yeah, that.
I could have.
Yeah.
walk me through the Coleman play.
So there was not. I was going to take Deion Jackson. You got to him before I did. I don't remember if I had Coleman yet already or not, but I was going to drop him for him. But I honestly figured San Francisco would run away with that game. That Jeff Wilson wouldn't need to play. Coleman would get some goal line work.
Yep.
Maybe he's playing his former team. He wants to score a touchdown.
Yep.
None of that happened. He had 3 yards.
Yeah, that makes more. Yeah, 4 carries, 3 yards. That makes more sense now, like because the Niners split carries quite a bit, pretty evenly, and even the number 2 in a smash spot could get a touchdown here or there.
No, we had 2 last week. I was like, okay, maybe they'll give him that goal line work, but no, he didn't obviously get many carries at all.
Mm-hmm.
He will not be on my team after this week.
Oh man, surprise!
Waiver alert! You heard it here first.
That's right. Or hey, throw me a trade. I might be willing to give him up.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah. So, man, buddy. Yeah. Like, here's my question for you. And we'll parlay this a little bit into your questions here. We'll switch it up here. We'll go with your questions first for the power rankings. So, my question on you, and real quick, shout out to Travis because he wants his ego stroked a little bit. Yeah, you won again, Travis.
Yeah, I had a couple notes on Travis I wanted to get out before.
Okay, all right. Real quick on you. So, what's your thoughts here, right? So your team is obviously underperforming, right? Your biggest asset is obviously Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you tried to shop him at all? Have you done any movement at all to like try to, or you just been looking at Fab or free agency to try to patch this team together?
No, I've had a couple offers for several players on my team, and I'm not going to trade Cup for 2 mid-tier guys. Like, I'm going to be 1-5. I'm not going to make my team worse. It's not going to help me. I don't want to be the Sacco, so I don't want to trade my best player. I will say that if anybody wants to come at me with any picks for next year, I will be more than happy to entertain those. But I'm not going to make my team worse.
But that's not a thing. You can't do that.
No, you can trade picks. Nobody's ever done it.
No, because you said you can't, and we all agreed because this isn't a dynasty.
I disagree.
We may need to take
man,
this
I gotta
offline.
go back to the tape.
So here's my argument for if you're going to trade Cup, it has to be this week. It's Cup's bye week. You're going into it. You don't want to eat it. You can't take another loss. You would need to trade for someone else to take his bye week maybe you need a running back out of it, right?
Right.
ETN seems like the perfect target for me because he is a guy that hasn't popped off yet, right? He is a guy that could, right, being young, explosive, huge capital.
Yeah, but he's not trading Cup for ETNs on the
No,
potential.
you get another piece. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to go and grab something that hasn't popped yet because you're not going to get Brees Hall or I don't
John,
think.
John, you send me Kelsey and ETN. I'll give you Cup.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work either. I mean, you're going to have to give it something else back.
You don't need to.
Uh,
Okay, I'll give you. I'll give you.
the cliff. It's the cliff problem, right?
Yep.
I mean, who's you got? Everett. I mean, he's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. So I'm just. I don't know. I'm not going to. I got to play to not get the Sacco at this point.
Yeah.
I'm very clearly not going to be making a huge push. I've held on to Hopkins for 6 weeks. Obviously, I'm hoping he comes back at a wide receiver 1 level. We'll see. Cardinals look like absolute garbage, but maybe he's the one. But I've got decent pieces. They're just so like I don't have the guy that's going to go off for 40 other than Cup.
Yeah.
I just am clearly missing that. And when I drafted, I purposely drafted 3 running backs thinking, okay, I'll fill my 2 spots, my flex, and 2 of them get hurt. And the other one just hasn't done a whole lot in Connor. And again, obviously Arizona's just being a lot of trash. So it hasn't worked out very well for me. I've missed.
So I just want to go on the record here. I think anyone, especially you, that owns Hopkins should trade him now because you trade him to someone that thinks you're going to get wide receiver 1 production and you get a wide receiver low, like Waddle is the person that sticks out in my head, right? Like do swap a 1 for 1 right there. I don't think Tony would do it, but in other leagues, I think you should be shopping Hopkins. What do you feel about that?
He's probably the highest he'll be right now,
Yes.
just on the allure of what
Hopkins,
he could be. And Kyler Murray is underperforming, right?
True.
So it's like,
but that changed with Brown being out for the year. So there's more hope that maybe we see old school Hopkins where he gets 15, 16 targets a game, right? So there is that opportunity. But the new Call of Duty drops on the 28th. I mean, John better get rid of Murray.
Yep.
what are your thoughts on Trav?
So I just wanted to pick at the Font pickup because it was a bad pickup. And then he put up his season high in targets, receptions, and yards. So does that make it a bad pickup? I don't know. I'm moving on. Lazard kept his hot streak. But I honestly see, like, kind of what I was saying about other teams. I think this is a team that we could see fall. I think Trav's team really could fall because we have Deontay Johnson, who's in a terrible spot. We have Fournette, who I think is going to wear down eventually. And I think Lazard eventually dries up as well. I was wondering if you guys agreed or what you guys thought about that, or if his team has the legs and I just keep picking on this team.
I want to just disagree. Or I want to agree with you, but I don't. I don't. I think his team. He's got Jacobs sitting on the off a bye, and Jacobs is playing great. It's a contract year for him,
Running back
obviously.
7.
What?
Running back 7, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's just outperforming. And I mean, first of all, I hate Alan Lazard. I hate his name because I think of a lizard, and I don't like lizards. So fuck that guy. But he could definitely use a crutch on another receiver. He's probably weak at receiver, I would say. But Lamb with Dak coming back probably helps him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's also going to need a tight end too. I was just going to continue to stream him because obviously Fant's not the answer there, but I don't know.
Yeah, but there's just not. I mean, without a trade, there's no answer, right? I mean, Hawkinson was like a gift, which again, we want to hear why Tony dropped him, but I don't know. No, I looking here. I'll put it this way: Travis's team stacked against a lot of our other teams. It's hard to say he falls, right? Because like I don't think his team will fall from grace versus our other teams that are sitting below him. So. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. I don't think he falls. If he falls off, it's not a lot. Lazard is very touchdown dependent. He's the only guy that Rodgers is going to trust throwing the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of what you said is right. He's got just as good a lineup as anybody else.
He has the MVP on his team right now. I mean, between Hurts and Barkley, those are probably the two front runners right now with
no,
Jackson.
Allen's got to be.
Allen's probably, yeah, you're right. Allen's right there in that 3 too.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Couple questions from Muhs. Talk us through your draft strategy. Like, actually, not so much like how the draft boiled out. We know that, like, guys underperform. Like, you can't predict that stuff. But I'm more curious, like, what's your draft prep look like? Like, how do you go into a TMH draft? Like, what are your thoughts?
So I, as many of you do, subscribe, obviously, to, I do 4 for 4. And I like to do a lot of mock drafts. I like to pick different guys just to kind of see who falls. Obviously, it doesn't always pan out the way that the computer tries to pick it for you. But I really liked the. I figured you two, because we all three, I guess, had the top 3 picks. We're going to take Taylor and McCaffrey. And hindsight, maybe should have gone Eckler just to give myself a running back who's doing something. But I took the best player available, and I thought it was Kupp, and obviously he's worked out very well. But I still, and I don't even regret taking Javonte Williams, Connor, and Eli Mitchell, all 3 in succession. They just have obviously been very bad. And then built off that, now kind of knowing even like what Tony did. I as many you guys have mentioned, I don't agree that he took 4 wide receivers. I don't know why you do that. Obviously they've done very, very well for him, and his team is very good. But I kind of had the opposite strategy in taking running backs over wide receivers, which in a full PPR format as we are now maybe wasn't the best decision in hindsight. But also 4 for 4 has been absolute garbage this year in their rankings. I think they've missed a lot, and I've suffered, unfortunately. 'Cause that's mainly the one that I use.
Yep. I went and looked at the accuracy thing, and their guy is usually he's in like the top 6 or whatever. I forget his name off the top of my head. And the only
John Paulson.
That's the guy that runs it. He doesn't do the rankings anymore. I assume he does part of the algorithm and stuff. But yeah, the only position that they're doing well at, and in the top 10 or top 6, is receiver, right? And it's kind of funny. The rest of them, they're really falling off. And I mean, I see it like, they had Rodgers as quarterback 7 or 6 going into this week. And it's like, no, I don't buy it. I cut Rodgers, picked up Fields, and it was, it gained me 8-9 points. So I'm with you on 4 for 4. It's been disappointment. But it's been a tough year to rank, and so like when it came to the draft, and like how closely did you follow those rankings, or did you kind of use that mock draft plan and like have, hey, this is round 3, here's the guys I have slated here, and you had those decisions made?
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't look a whole lot at like the what typically they're taken at their average draft position ADP. I don't pay attention a whole lot. I kind of have positions in mind. Now, granted, obviously, certain people fall to you. That changes things. But I kind of know that, okay, I'm going to go Kupp first, obviously, with my wide receiver. My next pick has to be a running back. Like, if I pass on a running back again, obviously, it's just going to be 4 more picks between you guys before I'll actually get one. And so I kind of base my draft off of those positions that I want when I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I mean, that's generally like everybody's got their own like strategy. I think there can be overthinking done with it too. And again, I think too, like this is a league, probably. Well, it's my most competitive league. Like all of the guys who play in this league understand fantasy football and understand like values of players, and it shows through waivers and things like that. So you can't necessarily, guys don't necessarily sneak through per se, like they can in some other leagues where people pick their favorite team players, that kind of stuff. That doesn't happen that often, except for, Odie. But so, here's my question. I have 2 other questions real quick. I'm gonna dog you a little bit on this. This is where I think you struggle. And I think that you put in a lot of waivers, but you put in low waiver bids and you miss out on guys.
No. Oh, okay. So I hate the fob. I don't, obviously I understand it. I have no idea what anybody else is thinking. I hate Because then I go and get a guy for $18 and somebody else bids 4, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Like, so I have no idea what anybody else is doing. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, obviously I can Google, how much should I put on him, and it'll give me a percentage. But
do you use 4for4's articles and stuff like that?
Well, so I'll that's one of the things that I look at is the waiver priority and who they say, but
they have a little percentage there too.
They do, and I get that, but then you have a guy like Kenneth Walker, $93.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
So that's an abnormality because Odie's weird, but
I don't like FOB. I just don't. It's too much unknown for me, and I do struggle with that. Absolutely.
yeah.
So like, you are probably one of the biggest people that I know that's a fan. Like, you're a huge Packers fan, right? But yet, on the same sense, like, you are one of the few that I noticed that are you almost hesitant to draft Packers for your fantasy team?
The right ones. This year, I think, was very, very easy because I didn't want to touch Rodgers without Devontae not seeing him.
Yeah.
I don't even think he got drafted, so obviously that didn't hurt anybody. But I wasn't going to take Aaron Jones 3, and I knew he wasn't going to come back to me. I did like A.J. Dillon a lot. Hindsight, that's worked out well for me that I didn't get him. You did. But I don't know. It's always wide receiver 1 in Green Bay. It's always Aaron Jones, and so is Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's it. And then there's always just, you hit randomly on a couple guys, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm hesitant to, but...
I'm hesitant to draft Niners, man. I don't like it. I mean, but the right guys, right?
You feel like those are the guys you cheer for. Like,
yeah,
you'd be twice as happy if they're on your team and they scored a touchdown for you.
Yeah,
right.
But even worse when things go south.
For sure.
Exactly.
All right, last question I have,
Yep.
and we'll get to the power rankings. Does Jess enjoy watching football with you since the Packers and your fantasy football team suck?
Well, I try to shelter her from the fantasy football. She doesn't know how bad we are this year.
Well, she will now. Friend of the pod, Jess, will be watching.
Yeah.
Let me tell her.
Okay.
Last year was much more fun for her to watch football. She was one that didn't watch a dang thing. I had to teach her what a first down was, like those simple things.
Sure.
Simple concept, but so no, it's not as fun watching Green Bay. Which to her credit, she's like, man, I really loved watching Rodgers and Devontae. Like, they were really fun to watch. And I was like, you fucking right they were. And now they both are just losers. Rodgers looks absolutely garbage, and Devontae is 1-5.
Oh, team wise, yeah.
So, but she has no interest in watching the rest of the game. So, like, on Sunday, this last Sunday was a great slate of games. Like, you had the Bills Chiefs at 3:30, at the Cowboys Eagles at night. Like I want to watch these games.
Yeah.
And she does not as much.
No. Yeah.
But
There you go.
coming around.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our power rankings, and we'll wrap up this episode up with the waivers. Not a lot of movement this week. As I kind of mentioned earlier, the teams that are on the top of the list won. The teams that are on the bottom of our power rankings lost for the most part. So not a lot of movement here. Kershaw, let's kick it off. Let's start with number 12.
Number 12 is Muse. It's not me. And I agree with this. I'm sorry, Muse. Tough times.
I have myself at 12.
Nice. Hey,
There you go.
perfect.
Coming in at 11, moving up a spot was Kershaw. I was actually kind of thinking about moving you up to Kershaw, but that's way too optimistic.
You'd
but
had to move
if your team gets
somewhere else.
healthy, I could see some movement from you coming from the bottom of the barrel.
Yes. And then at number 10, we still have Shane. You can't move him down or up. You put up 120,
Yeah.
but lost.
Yep. Continuing his fall from grace, so to 2-0 is John. Now dropping 4 in a row. Number 9, down a spot from last week at 8.
And he could easily just be falling even more.
Come to the bottom, John.
Yep. And at 8, we have Bones. Muse, where did you have Bones in yours?
I had him at 8, actually.
Nice. I like the spot too.
See here, crawling into number 7. Now this could change because looking at the stat line, Latavius Murray's getting the ball now, so I don't think Gordon's gonna do anything here to end this thing. So I'm gonna win, I think. So but I'm gonna still put myself at 7 at the recording of this at 9:33 p.m. Something could happen weird. I understand that. Didn't have a great week anyway, but number 7 is me, staying where I was last week.
Yeah, I think you move up a spot if you win this, don't you think?
Hard to put me in front of the 6th guy.
Sam's
so
at 6.
I think I stay where I'm at, probably.
I would move him up to 6. I think Sam, but whatever. At 6, we have Sam.
Sam is still winning by .02.
So that is so great. Oh my gosh, that would be the beat of all beats.
I want Mike Williams to get a rush for a yard, so he loses by .01.
God, Bones can tell you horror stories about Mike Williams not doing anything.
Oh yeah, he literally needed him to just a catch.
1 point in the championship. Put up a goose egg.
Oh man,
he dropped a touchdown in the end zone too.
Good shout out. We'll see. Well, .02. That's a bad beat. So yeah, what do we have? Sam at 6. So number 5 is Daryl. Staying where he was. Again, if you look, I did a little look in this. Again, I'm not want to beat you up. Can you please still do the electrical in my basement? Still love you. Please get that done. But if you look at your points for, you're just not doing it. You're hitting really lucky on points against, which again, I mean, I played you this week and had a shitty week, but that's my only thing is keeping you at 5. You're winning, but you're not winning by just putting up huge numbers.
Yeah, and at 4, we have the number 1 for points for, right? Travis?
Yeah, here was my thing and why I didn't move him. I don't know where you had him use is he probably does deserve to move up higher than 4, and I should give him the credit there. But I had him at 4. We had him at 4, and all the teams above him still won this week. Well, maybe not Cody.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see. But that's why I had a hard time jumping him ahead of other teams, and especially, he didn't have he had a pretty good week, I guess, in general, but not crazy high either. So
I did have Cody at 4, Travis at 3, for what it's worth.
And at 3, we have Tony. I really think you could shuffle any of these top 4, and the order would be okay.
Yeah, we had Tony. So Tony stayed the same.
Yep.
There was not a lot of movement here. We have Cody coming in at 2 again. It probably doesn't. I mean, he might be shuffles a little bit if he can't get another catch or something from Williams, but it's still a good team there. It's coming in at 2.
Yep, and Odie's holding on to that 1 spot. I mean, coming in, on the week, number 2 score, right? So he's not going anywhere.
He's made some really good moves. He's doing some good moves to keep his team going well. So there we go. We'll see how that moves from week to week, but that ends that power ranking. Let's end them with some waivers here. I know we can ping pong a little bit here. I don't know if you have any, Muse?
I do have a few, yes.
Let's change it up. Why don't you kick off with one? What do you got?
So I'm looking at quarterbacks. I think a couple guys that should go, because there's some guys that should not be on rosters. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, your buddy in San Francisco, has got a really good matchup. Not maybe matchup-wise against Kansas City's defense, but Kansas City could potentially put up a lot of points on a very injured Niners defense, and he may just need to keep up. I like him as a streamer option, and I also like our buddy Dak Prescott's coming back. He should probably be on people's radars as well because he's got a lot of upside in Dallas offense.
Those are solid.
I like
Those
that.
are solid ones.
I like that. And we have a lot of teams that need quarterbacks this week, so I'm going to throw a couple more out. I mean, I think Wilson's kind of made the case to be on a roster here. I know he hasn't done anything since that first quarter now, but maybe Daniel Jones is someone that potentially could be if he keeps winning, right? I mean, he has 4 fourth quarter comeback wins. That's more than anyone in the league. It's ridiculous. Tua's coming off injury. He's got to be considered. Carr, your usual suspects, Goff. I mean, do you make a case for Matt Ryan? I mean, he threw it 50 times. But
Yeah, there's a lot of movement needed. I think you can make a case for all these guys. Tua is another one I had in there. Coming off of Concussionville, if he can see something, he can throw it. So we'll see.
Might see
I
Tua
got one off of the quarterback lane. I got running back. Sounds like, and these guys on my team, Dobbins is not right. Something's not right there. And Kenyon Drake looked good. Kenyon Drake's looked good in spurts. throughout his career. When he was in Arizona, he looked great. Miami looked good as well. So like this guy has potential. Maybe not as a full-time, like I can do the whole season guy, but for a fantasy world, he might be a good one to pick up in the short term, especially with Dobbins' uncertainty with that knee.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no real big names at running back. All I really have are stashes. Drake was the big one. Malcolm Brown, maybe. Damian Harris. Even Gibson, Pirine, right? And these are all guys that don't really have any value from week to week, just if there's an injury and their value goes up.
I think so. The one other guy that I have, and I don't know, I don't expect a ton out of him, but is Caleb Huntley. He's getting the carries in Atlanta over Algier.
Algier, whatever. Yeah,
15 Algier, 13 Huntley. Yeah, so he got a good cut.
That is a weird backfield. They are sharing that ball all over the place. So that's a weird backfield. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's bad.
And another one that I don't think anybody here is going to do, certainly not now, but with the trade rumors in Carolina, is to potentially take the next guy in Carolina. Very bad offense, but potentially have, I don't know, I would have Foreman over Hubbard, I guess, at this point.
Yes, for sure. Foreman looked really good when McCaffrey missed time. So, that's a good stash there. And there's a good reason I didn't put him in the list that I said publicly.
It's just that you get room for him.
Yeah. I mean, my roster's too good. Where's the fat?
It's going to be a trying week for a lot of teams.
It is.
With holding rise. So that's the other thing to think about is that there's like the second wave of this week, right? So you got to think about guys that are going to get dropped that probably are ownable still, but they're on bye weeks. Because some teams like our bottom teams, like I can't afford to lose, right? Like I'm not an Odie where I could just pay the $5 and take the loss. Like I can't do that, right? I have to set a full roster. So, looking at my team, there's guys that are going to have to be cut that I probably want to hold a little longer, but just not going to be available. So, we'll see what happens there. But the only other one I got, rookie guy, New England, Thornton, Taekwon, whatever. Stupid name.
Second round draft pick, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking really good coming off of that injury from the preseason. I'm big on him. I drafted him in our Dynasty League on Dangletree. So, like him, just getting the work and some opportunities. We'll see what happens when Mac Jones eventually comes back. But that Zappe is like
Zappy,
whatever the fuck it is. So anyway, those are my picks. Anybody else got any other ones they want to share?
Muse, you or me?
You go ahead.
All right. I thought you made a good pickup before, Adam, but you weren't, due to circumstance. I don't think you were able to keep him. Alec Pierce, right? He's looked super explosive out there. I know he didn't do much until a late touchdown, but he looked really good. Rondell Moore is getting his opportunities, and now with Brown gone, he should be on a roster too. Zay Jones is another one that Lawrence looks to in tough times, so I think that means he's gonna get more looks in a normal if the Jags get back to a good way, which they started. But yeah, otherwise I don't even. I Hunter Henry for tight end. That's wraps up everything I have.
Yeah, those are solid. We'll see. Like I said, rosters, and that's one thing and what I love about TMH is the tight rosters. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it creates another element to this of looking out for bye weeks and having to drop guys that you might not want to normally, and you can't just stash dudes for 6 weeks. It's hard, at least, to do. So,
Muse, did you have anyone?
Anything else, Muse? Parting thoughts for the crew?
Well, I had a couple more guys waiver wire. So as long as the Giants continue to not have anybody available at receiver, I think Wan'Dale Robinson's a decent pickup.
Playmaker.
He's a second round pick, I believe, now healthy. Then tight ends, as thin as it is, I've got 3 guys that could potentially jump back in and be somewhat, at least startable, and that's Dalton Schultz, again with Dak Prescott coming back. That's Robert Tonyan, who had, I believe it was 9 or 10 catches.
Yes.
And then also Pat Freiermuth, who will at least come back and at least is very touchdown dependent. But
yeah, those are great ones. And I want to end with you. Christian and I will hit the matchups more thoroughly on Thursday, but let's go through this rapid fire style. Who do you got?
Yes.
So we got myself or Shane.
I have Shane winning this one, and it was very hard for me to choose that, but you've got Josh Allen on bye. Shane's also got a few on bye, but he's got less to replace with starters.
Yeah, I'll shed some light on that, but I agree with you. You got yourself versus Bones.
I have Bones. I am just a mess right now. I don't like it. I've got some guys on bye,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't have much faith in my team right now. I put up a salty 75.
Travis versus Odie.
I've got Travis winning that one in a tight one. Again, Odie's got a lot of guys on bye. Travis's biggest decision's got to be quarterback. He's got Hurts on his bye. Again, Odie with no fob money. I don't know who he replaces. Maybe he does just take the loss and keep the extra guys on his roster, but he's got a lot of his starters on.
Daryl versus Tony.
I have, again, Daryl on this one and a tight one. Tony's got a lot of decisions to make as well. He's got some guys also obviously on bye. He's already dropped Hawkinson. Daryl's got a full team, I believe, this week, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Yep.
So that's it's tough on some of those. We'll see what people do. Like you said, I said the same thing about that second wave of free agency. Is it'll be almost more interesting to see who people drop than who everybody's going to pick up this first time around.
Agree. All right, Sam versus John.
Sam.
Yeah.
Period.
And Kershaw versus Cody.
Kirchhoff, I got you winning this one.
Yeah.
I think you've got some good matchups. Cody's running backs have very tough matchups here. I don't recall exactly who they have now.
Chubb versus Baltimore. Montgomery versus New England.
So not great matchups for him. He's got Jefferson on a bye. Kershaw's getting Keenan Allen back. Hopefully, Taylor should play, and you picked up Hawkinson at least this week. It looks on paper pretty good.
I like
Greatest comeback story ever, Kershaw. Build it.
Yes. Gonna go 7-7, make the playoffs.
Lose in the first round.
Hey, no Sacco. I'll be happy.
There you go.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 8 here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was good, Muse. Way to come prepped, man.
Yes,
Appreciate that.
yes.
Very
Thank
much.
you,
Appreciate
Muse.
it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be on again
Absolutely.
next week.
No, we wish you the best. And again, we can all get behind you. We don't want you to be the Sacco. We want Shane to be the Sacco.
I won't be the Sacco,
Yes.
but you need to make a decision about these picks because if we can trade picks for players, I'm gonna do it.
Let me think about it. I don't remember. No, it's never been done. I mean,
Just let them do it.
the only thing if we don't do it is what if that person doesn't come back? Like they just
Yes.
leave.
Yes.
Then we fill their spot. It's not like they got a roster to fill. They just
We can start another dynasty. Maybe we turn TMH into 3 leagues. No, not really. But
Come on. Yeah, let me ponder that. But yeah, so yeah, Cup is up for sale. So make your offers.
yes.
it'll be good.
Awesome. All right, gentlemen. Thank you for your time.
Yes. Send in
Thanks,
your
guys.
Thursday throwdowns. We need more
Yeah,
of them.
send them in. Get more than just Shane. Damn it. Do it.
We
You're
will
gonna
hear
get
from
one from me
Shane.
this week.
Yes. Love it.
Cool. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Peace.
Muse. Later.
Gentlemen.